Welcome to the Heart of Fauquier podcast. Here you'll learn the stories and tips from local business leaders and entrepreneurs who make up the heart of the community. Discover what makes Fauquier so wonderful and be inspired by the journey of local success stories. Now let's join Austin, owner of Bedrosian Cleaning Services, as we hear from today's special guest. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the podcast for today. We are mixing things up a little bit. Austin obviously is here as usual, but Charli and I are here as well. I'm Austin's wife, Sarah, and we are just doing something a little bit different. We are going to be talking about goals and the new year and everything like that, and hopefully we have some cooperation from Charli here. Today she is 5 months old.
Yay.
So we'll just get rolling with everything. First off, Happy New Year. It's been quite a year for 2020, so yes, very crazy. So I know you wanted to touch on a few things with that.
Yeah, I just know that 2020 was a really hard year for a lot of people. Some people really excelled and did awesome in 2020, and then a lot of people struggled, whether it was in business or just personally. A lot of people were, locked down, quarantined. A lot of people were told, their job wasn't essential, which, kind of hurts your pride anyway. And then having to stay home, it was just a really tough year. And so I think we were all really excited about a new year. But the only thing is that I think a lot of those problems are still going on, even though it's a new year. And so going into 2021, things aren't going to magically be all better, but it can be better if you decide it's going to be better and, set good goals and are ready to just make some changes. So,
yeah, definitely. So going into the new year, goals are obviously important. Everyone sets resolutions. That's kind of the buzzword these days in that first week of January. So why do you set goals? What's the purpose behind it that you see?
I think that, I've always been told if you're not growing or changing, then you're dying. And so I think that goals are a big part of growing. You have to have a target that you're aiming at. Otherwise, you don't really know why you're doing things or where you're going. So you need direction. And I think that a new year is a great time to do that, even though, like you said, it's a buzzword now. And it's kind of a joke of, January, February, all the people are in gyms. Maybe not this year, but typically everyone has, they're excited about a goal. They're going to eat better. They're going to stop this and start this. And, it usually dies off by maybe around now, actually. But some people last till February, March. And it just kind of wanes down and it's kind of a joke. But if you set good goals, then I think, it's worthwhile and it'll help you start this new year the right way. I also think that we learned a lot last year that will help us know what goals to set. If something was really crazy last year, maybe make adjustments this year with your goals so that craziness doesn't happen again, because we're going to have crazy years like 2020 again, 12 years ago was 2008 and everything was crazy, and then 2020, something's going to happen in the next 10 years. You don't know. You just got to be ready for it. So.
Right. Yeah. So how then do you go about setting those goals?
I think that to have good goals, one thing that Keith Puffenbarger said when I interviewed him is the importance of mentorship in his life and how the mentors have just helped him grow and change. And I think that someone with that outside view can really help you with setting goals, and they can also help you as you progress towards them. Sometimes you get so stuck in your little world, it's hard to see what the next steps are. And whether it's an actual mentor or a coach, like maybe what Marianne does with business and stuff like that, whether it's someone specific like that, which is great, or even just talking with someone who knows your life pretty well and your goals and having them help you set them. I think that's a really good start. And then even just if you have a general direction of where you want to go, get around some of the people who are heading in the same direction. If you're thinking, hey, I want to, stop drinking, maybe don't hang out with your drinking buddies all the time, If you want to get into real estate, well, get around really great realtors. You just got to get around the right people. But I think the one acronym, is that the right word, acronym, that people have used with goal setting is called SMART. And you've maybe heard of it. If you have, this is a great refresher. If you have not heard of it, then it's a great thing to learn. It's to have SMART goals. So S is going to be specific. So you don't want to just have a generic, I'm going to get better and be a better person this year. Like, that's not going to happen. Well, I mean, it might happen, but not because you set that as your goal. You have to be really specific. So like, I want X amount of income, gross income from my business, and this much net. I want to have this many more clients. I want to have this much in savings. Yeah. Or I want to learn this instrument, kind of thing. You have to have something specific that you're aiming for. Another thing would be the M, which is measurable. So you have to have something that you know when you hit it, honestly. So like I just mentioned with the I want this much income, you want it to be an actual number, not just I'm going to do better this year in my business and grow. Well, let's have a real number and be specific about it. Something attainable. This kind of goes back to having a mentor or an outside source telling you, hey, here's the next step. So for your goals, let's hit this. If you're maybe just starting in business, it's not going to be hey, I'm going to have a $10 million business this year. Well, let's shoot for what your next step actually is, And then next, something relevant. So if it's something that you've never done before, and if you succeed in it, it doesn't really change your life except for that in that area, it might not be a great goal. But if it's something like, for us, hey, we have this business goal, and that means something for Charli, or means something for us as we're growing as a family, a goal that we can hit, then it's more relevant. Another thing is time bound. I think this is maybe the most important, in my opinion, because a lot of people have dreams, but if you don't have a date set on it, it's just a wish. So if you want to learn that instrument, which I've had that as a goal at the beginning of the year before, and it didn't happen. And that's probably because I didn't have SMART goals with it. If you're going to learn an instrument, be like, hey, I'm going to have such and such concert or, small scale thing that I'm going to play for on X date, I know when I did learn some piano in middle school or whatever, I knew there was going to be some concert that I had to play at that you had to get ready for, and kind of gives you urgency. And I know you had the same thing with learning instruments. So, so I would say that's the biggest thing. And then also having kind of reviewing your goals throughout the year. So whether it's on a monthly basis to look back, or even weekly and daily to look at, hey, what were my goals? How can we readjust? And and how are we doing on it? And it's okay to readjust your goals and everything. It's just about moving forward, So.
And it's all just one step at a time.
Yeah.
There's that phrase of, how do you eat an elephant? It sounds like such an impossible task, but really it's just one bite at a time. Just one little bit at a time. So, next question is, what areas are good to set goals in? Because I know there's so many different types of goals. There's health goals and financial goals and whatever. So what are some of the areas that you can think of to set those goals in?
Yeah, and it can be overwhelming to think of, wow, I want to improve in every area. And it's like, well, you got to maybe focus it down a little bit. One thing, I recently saw a post from Dave Ramsey, and he gave 7 areas as an example to set goals in. And I wouldn't necessarily do all of them. You can if you want, if you can be that specific and go for it. But he says family, spiritual goals, financial goals, social goals, physical goals, intellectual, and career or business. And so those are kind of just to categorize it, because, like we were saying with the SMART, having something specific is good. So to narrow it down into one of these areas for one goal is going to help you actually reach it. The more niched you are, the more specific you are, the more likely you are to actually hit it. So and not to get overwhelmed with it. It's more like to help you get more specific,
Yeah, definitely.
Probably the biggest thing just with this whole podcast today is I want to encourage you to just strongly go into 2021. A lot of people are kind of limping in and excited about a new year, but just move forward boldly, and don't let the economy or the president or the next president or whatever turn you into, I don't know, that just lump on the couch. Like, don't let them, a lump on the couch. Like, let those things get you pumped up to, make a difference and do something great, even though it seems like the world might be against you. I think there's a lot of people who are moving forward, and you just gotta get around those people and have your goals set. So, one more thing I would say is no matter what the goal is that you're wanting to hit, I think that reading can play a really big part. I know that when I am reading, I can just tell a difference in my mindset into going into things. I'm more confident and just learning. It might be something really specific about what your goal is, or it might be something general just on being, the right person to reach your goal, because you're going to have to change if you're going to want to hit your goal. Yeah. And so, some books that I would say have been great have been, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, or The Magic of Thinking by David Schwartz. And then if you've never read before, but you there's benefit to it, I hated reading until college, absolutely hated it. And then, I could finally read what I wanted kind of in college and then after, and it's a lot of fun if you get the right book. And if you get the wrong book, you can put it back down. It's okay, you can move on, skip a chapter. Maybe they were having a bad day, and you can keep going. Yeah. But one easy book is Acres of Diamonds, which is great about mindset and setting goals, even if it seems like the world's against you. So yeah, that's the biggest thing I wanted to cover just as we go into this new year, to encourage you to make that jump, set that goal, and be okay with pursuing it. So just to kind of conclude things here, I have something that we want to share, because we own our own business, a commercial cleaning company, Bedrosian Cleaning Services, and we have this really big promo that we're starting right now. I don't know how long we'll do it, but honestly, I've never seen a promo like this when it comes to referrals. And what we're doing is anyone who sends us a referral that we end up doing business with and cleaning for them, we're actually going to send you a gift card to a local restaurant, someone like Rioli's that I talked with Vinny a little bit ago, or Denim and Pearls, or someone that has a local restaurant with gift cards. We're going to send a $100 gift card to you as long as we start working with that referral you send. And I think that's huge. It's a way to support local restaurants that have really taken a hit with everything in 2020 and ongoing now. And it's also a way that we can just get involved with the community and to thank people that are giving referrals for us. So if you know any offices in Fauquier, Culpeper, even into Gainesville and Haymarket area that needs cleaning, because just with COVID and everything, people are thinking about it more, or if they're not happy with who's currently doing it, we'd love to talk to them and see if we can serve them, and we can send you a $100 gift card, which is pretty awesome. So yeah,
she's excited about it.
She's excited about it. Yeah. Are you excited for this year too?
Oh yeah.
Yes. So just to go into this new year, be excited about setting goals, be okay with failing, and just keep going. And we're excited to see what's going to happen this year. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
There's one very important piece of information I'd like to add to the end of this podcast. If you'd like to take advantage of the promo that we mentioned at the end with referrals, then please make sure that you email bedrosiancleaningservices@gmail.com or you can call 570-485-9441 so that you can give us your referrals information, and we can make sure that we reward you with that gift card. You'll want to make sure, if you're sending us a referral for this promo, that you mention podcast referral promo. That way we can know that we can send the gift card to you and make sure everything is squared away with that. So once again, make sure that you mention podcast referral promo, and you can either email us at bedrosiancleaningservices@gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 570-485-9441. I look forward to hearing from a bunch of you guys here soon.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode of The Heart of Fauquier. If you loved joining us today, give this podcast a great review and subscribe to keep up with new episodes. If you have an office in Fauquier that needs a cleaning service, reach out to Bedrosian Cleaning Services and see how they can serve you. Until next time, thanks for listening.